negative balance represents credit that's been extended to you by the rest of the community.
My name is Francis Ailey. I'm the president of Fourth Corner Exchange. We are a mutual time exchange, mutual credit exchange system. We have over, as of today, 650 members, and about 400 of those are in Bellingham.
I'm Jean Brecken. I offer reading out loud, singing, playing the piano, word processing, writing, and office work.
Hi, I'm Lynette Allen, and I'm offering websites, design and development.
One of my favorites is I have this great apple tree, so I have a lot of apples that I have sold for time dollars and changed a 4-year-old's concept of where apples come from. And don't come from the store, they come from a tree, and Grandma was very happy that he learned that.
In a case of mutual credit systems, the rule is, the game is, I do something for you, I get a credit, you have a debit. The sum of our two is 0. So, in other words, net, we've done nothing. But I have a credit and you have a debit.
I, as a seller, may allocate to you some good or service that you need at the time. I get a credit to my account, you get a debit to your account. Your debit means that you owe something to the community of traders in our credit clearing circle. My credit balance means that the circle owes something to me.
I've really been enjoying a lot of things. Chicken soup from my friend Mary Stanton. I buy the chickens and she makes the soup. It's wonderful.
When, with my credits, I can go and get the cookies of my neighbor, and you can work in her garden to pay for your debit. We've created a currency between the 4 of us. Try that to do with dollars. It doesn't work that way, does it? I need to go and borrow it, or I need to earn it, competing with everybody else to get it. Okay? In this game, we created ourselves.
In a mutual credit system, everyone has an account. This account can go positive and it can go negative. When Bob repairs Andrew's hotel, Bob receives a credit and Andrew receives a debit. Bob can then use that credit to buy catering from Christine. Andrew works off his debit by providing lodging for Daniel. When Daniel does dental work for Christine, the credit and debit are cleared. No hard cash was needed, and everyone gained something in the transaction.
It's like this network. It provides more security for me, just knowing that I'm part of Fourth Corner Exchange. And for instance, during the winter, part of my fence blew down in a storm, and I was able to find somebody, a carpenter, who came up all the way from Mount Vernon and put that fence up for me within a few days.
Over the long run, we expect that each person is going to put in as much as they take out and take out as much as they put in. But we allow these temporary imbalances in order to facilitate this exchange process. This is the fundamental function of money.
As more people join the mutual credit clearing circle, this process can become more dynamic. Ultimately, no matter how big the circle gets, the value people contribute should remain equal to the value they take out.
This is money created not by a hierarchy, but it's a medium of exchange that's created between us. Okay? We create the medium of exchange. Second, there's no interest. Okay? Third, it's not scarce.
When you start trading in Fourth Corner Exchange, many people talk about experiencing shift in consciousness. There's not a scarcity of that currency, so there's much less competition. So you end up with a completely different experience, and people talk about how cooperative, supportive. People are really concerned about your well-being.
So the primary distinction between money that is tight, scarce, limited, comes from them, and money that is free, available, sufficient, and comes from us, is that with one, we are in fear and greed and competition, and with the other, we behave like sensible human beings. We are more generous, we're more comfortable, we're more giving, we're more willing to receive.
It's made me a lot more willing to share my home, open up my space. I'm not as afraid of people as I once was.
I think that this organization has the potential of making things really livable as time gets harder in the future, not only in terms of the goods and services, but in terms of the connections in the community.
Community needs to become our safety net, I believe, the way the economy is going. You know, I only thought that everything I did, I'd have to, pay out of my pocket for some way. So now I realize I have these options. So I kind of see it as a relationship-based consumption.
There are literally thousands of grassroots, person-to-person networks like Fourth Corner Exchange all over the world. However, the concept of mutual credit is not limited to the grassroots. Mutual credit has also been successfully applied in mainstream business. The commercial barter industry now oversees $30 billion a year in trade. 240,000 businesses in the U.S. alone participate in a barter system. These networks use mutual credit to help businesses make better use of their capacity while saving on their cash expenditures.
Well, my name's Dave Wallach. Been involved in the commercial barter business as a member since 1972. I started my own enterprise in 1979. A company called American Trade Association here in the Bay Area. Well, it's actually a process. It's a business process. Simply put, it makes saleable what is unsold, wasted, and ignored in our economy.
But in my opinion, there's always an empty table in a restaurant, just like there's always an empty room in a hotel, so you need to fill it. And if you fill it by trade, I look at it just like, it was cash, because you're going to order a nice dinner, a nice bottle of wine, and I'm going to spend that. Just that, if it was a good ad somewhere, or a taxi top, or whatever it was. John's Grill became famous when it was a setting in the novel by Dashiell Hammett, which was The Maltese Falcon. So John's Grill has been in business since 1908.
My name is Kaz. That's my nickname. My real name is Richard Kazmaier. I've been in the wine business about 20 years. I was the first organic grower of grapes up here in Sonoma Valley. And we're in the town of Kenwood. And I've been using barter for almost 15 years.
Excess capacity in business, simply put, is business that they could do but are not doing. One example would be like a printer. And his capacities are press time. So he's got these presses that he's paid a lot of money for. They're sitting on the floor, and they're running half the time. He's making a profit doing that. But they're only running half the time. That means he's got a 50% excess capacity.
All right, this is Club Sportiva. We're a luxury car share club, and as you can see behind me here, we've got some really exciting cars. At Club Sportiva, our members have access to drive the cars, so it's like a timeshare for sports cars. Mario Andretti, the famous Formula One race car driver, is a member of Club Sportiva. Dick Gordon is an Apollo 12 astronaut. He's another member who's been on board since 2003 or 2004.
So we joined Biz Exchange about roughly 2 years ago, and it was really quickly a good fit for the club. And it was kind of an easy decision to join. And I know for our first year we were a very big client for them because a lot of their members found our services to be a good fit, and we did a lot of marketing and advertising through their company, as well as some catering through their clients. So it was a kind of a perfect match that immediately, once the fire was stoked, it was going quickly.
You could buy things that you're presently paying cash for. It could be legal service, it could be printing, it could be automotive repair, dental, medical. Thousands of different items are represented. So it makes sense that if they could exchange that excess capacity for goods and services they're paying cash for, that they would make a profit doing that.
I'll sell my wine, and then for that, we've had a dentist, chiropractor, electrician, plumber, a roof repair guy, printing of brochures, business cards, silk screening of shirts. We've used a pretty good gamma of services.
For the small entry price to get into the network, which I think it was $100, I don't know what it was. It was nominal. It was almost, that shouldn't be even a consideration. It's really more, how would you spend your dollars, your BizX dollars, once you start having dollars to spend? And if it's on things you either would spend otherwise anyway, or on things you'd like to spend on but you haven't, it should be a no-brainer.
Through the use of bringing this efficiency into the economy and utilizing what has been wasted and ignored, we bring tremendous efficiencies to the economy. So if we take wasted resources and able to turn them into something productive, we now have reached a sociological goal also. So what we're the ultimate business ecologists.
You can't even begin to talk about how do we think like an ecosystem until you're aware of your place in your own culture, in your own society, that you aren't the only thing worth consideration, that everything around you is part of you, and that you have a responsibility for those around you. And in order to be aware of your place, you have to look at the place and understand the place, right? And it's, Earth, planet Earth.
There is without a doubt a mega crisis that we're facing in the coming years. And the big elephant in the living room is the money problem. And unfortunately, most people who are active in the sustainability movement and the environmental movement don't understand the nature of this problem. And we're not going to make any significant headway with sustainability or restoration of the environment until we solve the money problem.
This is part of the hallmark of a pre-democratic society, is that it functions by taboo. We have certain assumptions, we accept them, we do not question them. If you want to be part of the tribe, you will speak the language of the tribe and you will follow the rules of the tribe.
I think that we will evolve to, number one, become aware of the blind spot of that what money does to us. That our money is actually like an iron ring that we put through our nose, and it's leading us in directions that may not be the ones that we want to go consciously.
It is like the playing cards. It is something that maybe we all kind of know in the back of our minds that it might be like that. It's just one of those things that you know, but you don't really want to know.
Most people, most of us, get up in the morning for things other than just money. We care about things like family and, if you will, betterment, development as whole human beings.
People are not fools forever. And I think we're going to see very strong reaction to this as the pain grows and as the difficulties grow. And that's the time to begin building serious ideas about where we go for the future.
I think we have the opportunity to bring forth an environmentally sustainable, spiritually fulfilling, and socially just human presence on this planet. And I think that is the power and possibility of our time.
I think we can use money as a tool, as a servant to what we want to become, rather than be victims.
We don't need to have all this suffering around money. We can free ourselves from it. And the economy can be much healthier and much more of service to all of us.
Time to become aware, time to have a consciousness of our potential. And I think our potential as humans is infinite. Let's not limit ourselves through the medium of exchange. time to wake up.